Hi parents, so this is a quick revision of place value for the children, and if you want a bit of help too, so in just the ways we show place value in the school. So the number I'm going to work on today is the number 202. Okay, so the main thing we use for place value to show them in class are these. They're called deans, and these represent 100 because it's 100 squares. These are tens, and these are ones. And the way we draw those is by doing a little square for these. So let's do that here. Sorry, I'm bad camera angle there. A little line for these tens and a little dot for the ones. We kind of use those across year 3. So the number 202 is obviously 2 100s and 2 ones. Sorry, I'm terrible with the camera angle today. 2 100s and 2 ones. So we would draw that as 2 100s and 2 ones. If we wanted to add a 10 in, we would just draw a line there. What we use as well is called the expanded form. And that sounds quite complicated, but it's actually very straightforward. So all that is let's say 202 is the same as 200 and 0 and 2. Because this is the tens column, that's your ones column, and that's your hundreds column. Some parents have asked why we use ones instead of units. People were confusing units of measurement, let's say milliliters and centimeters, with ones. That's why we use that. The other way we do something similar is, let's say 202. We also, that's a terrible 0, the absolute state of it. 202, we partition them into what's called a place value bubbles. They might call them part whole models, or I think they're called cherry buttons lower down the scale. So again, hundreds, tens and ones. You don't need to throw the letters in just to help you if you want to. That's 200, there's 0 in your tens column, and there's 2 in your ones column. And then the final way, these are a little bit more complicated. It took me a while to get used to these when I started teaching, but they're really useful for the kids, and it really does help their place value knowledge. So the number is, it's called a bar model, and they're a big part of what's called Singapore maths, which really they're kind of an exemplar around the world. So let's say 202. You always put the whole number at the top. Don't know why you always put the whole number at the top. I never got a fully straight answer after that on courses, but anyways, you do. And then this should be kind of split up depending on how you would partition 202. So over here, we will put 200, and that would be 2. It should be roughly equivalent to how big they are, but obviously if this was a 100th of that size, you'd barely fit a number in. For the bar model, because I know they're a bit complicated, I'll do 1 or 2 more. If it was, oh gosh, that's an appalling bar. I mean, try and use a ruler if you have one. Let's say it's 411. So you'd split that into tens and ones. So that's 400s. And that's 10, and that's 1. Again, roughly equivalent to the size they are. And again, any of those. If there's 0 in the tens column, you can just leave it off the bar model. Okay, I hope that clears things up. If you have any questions, we'll be calling during the week, and this will really help their place value knowledge. So when we come back to school, whenever that is, we'll be ready to go. Thanks a million. Bye-bye.